Hello, everyone. My guest today is Vasile Tiplea. He is running a company called Vabotu, which helps teams work in harmony. It was designed to satisfy the dynamic and demanding needs of digital professionals who need an intelligent and seamless collaboration tool that enables fluid communication between those who work together on projects. Regardless of where team members are, the company brings everyone together to keep things moving forward. Vasile, you ready to take us to the top?
Yes.
Okay, how do you compete in this space when you have companies like Monday plowing money into paid and all the keywords and Basecamp and all these other project management tools?
I think at the end of the day, it's all about a product that provides a quality service. And one of the things that we're trying to do with Vabotu is instead of having a professional use several tools and constantly be distracted by changing tabs, whether you use Slack, Trello, Asana, or others, you can have one product that includes task management, team messaging, live feedback on designs provided, very similar to InVision, all in one product. And so that is really our goal, is to streamline the entire process.
Okay. And how do you really make that difference? Because everyone will say like ours is more streamlined, it's more integrated, it's better. Really, you must have identified some little mousetrap that you are better at doing than like, again, these other project management tools. Do you know what that is?
I think so. I think really at the end of the day, the best way to describe it is, let's say we look at Slack, and Slack is an amazing product, but at the end of the day, it's a messaging product. That's all it does. Yeah, you can share images and you can plug in a lot of different products into it to add to the functionality. But in its essence, Slack, it's a messaging product. When we look at Vabotu doesn't need any plugins. It comes standard with group messaging. It comes standard with task management, very similar to Trello. So you can manage all your projects and your entire team, and it comes standard with visual feedback, very similar to InVision. So it's all in one product. And so we believe that these are the key elements for any professional agency or professional creative, for that matter, to be able to streamline work, as we call it, or to be able to carry out the entire project management within one tool.
Yeah. Okay, let's dive deeper here into the backstory here. And real quick, tell me real quick, on average, what are teams paying for this per month?
Right now, for the first 100 companies that sign up, it's $9 per company, not per user. Per company, so a limited number of users.
So right now, your average customer is paying about $9. Your average team, your average logo, your average company is paying about $9 a month.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. And then put this on a timeline. When did you launch?
We launched it as of January of this year.
Okay, great. So brand new. I love that. 2019, January. And when did you start coding it?
2016.
Okay, so you've been coding this why is it taking so long?
Well, if you look at our product, it's not just a messaging platform. It's messaging, it's task management, and it's got the visual feedback. And we now have in the market the web, the native Mac and Windows applications. And in about a week, we're going to have the Android and iOS apps as well to complement.
Yeah. Your UI actually looks a lot like Google's inbox, where kind of the way that the attachments are displayed and things like that. They're just now shutting that down. Is that a bad sign?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, but really when we designed Vabotu, we wanted to make it feel like home, right? So if you've used tools like you mentioned, Google Inbox or Slack or Trello, if you're going to jump into Vabotu, you're really going to feel at home if you were familiar with those other tools.
Yep. Okay. So good. Launch 2016, officially getting to revenue here in 2019. How many customers have you scaled to today, the first 5-6 months?
We have about 112 companies and about 225 users, active users as of today.
That's great. Okay, so 112 companies paying, call it $10 a month. You're doing about $1,000 a month in revenue right now?
More or less.
That's good. I love this stage because everyone has to start at zero, right? So how did you get the first 10 or 20 or, well, in your case, 112 customers? What was the growth channel?
So we've done several things. Number one, we had a big launch at the Web Summit in Portugal. In November of 2018. So a lot of it was word of mouth there.
Wait, but what happened there? You didn't have a product at that point. And so like, what did you actually capture at that launch?
So we had a beta version ready. The product wasn't officially launched for companies to actually sign up, but we did collect email addresses. So when we were at the Web Summit, we were able to introduce the product. A lot of people submitted their email addresses. We were able to follow up with them at that point. So that was definitely our first point. The second point, we do a lot of content marketing.
Sorry, hold on real quick before we move on from Web Summit. How many emails did you collect there at the launch?
Anywhere from 80 to 120 emails.
Okay, got it. Good. Okay, so really an early adopter group there.
Yes.
Okay, and then now you're doing, you said content marketing?
Content marketing, on and off-site content marketing. We're doing a lot of social. So Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we had a paid advertisement that was launched in February, a short marketing test just to see how things are working via Carbon ads.
Yep. Okay. So how did that test pan out? What was your customer acquisition cost to get a new $10 a month customer?
Good question. I don't have all of the analytics in front of me right now, but it was a good learning experience. I would say one thing that we took out of that is making sure you hit to the right target audience is very important. I think the marketing ad ran for about 4 weeks, and in the first 2 weeks we got very, very little clicks to the website because we were targeting to the wrong audience.
Who were you targeting?
We were targeting professional photographers. There was a miscommunication between us and the company that was doing the advertising, but as soon as we switched that, we switched the marketing channels we were marketing, and the target audience that has shifted completely.
So now who are you targeting?
We are targeting established creative freelancers that work remotely, and small to medium size design, development, and branding agencies.
Interesting. And why? Help me break down. You're thinking something in your head. Why this shift to agencies?
So the agencies, I am the CEO of Creative 27, which is a digital agency here in Los Angeles. And so this product was really designed for creative professionals and agencies. And so when you work with advertisers, they have their pool of websites where they advertise their product. And so at the first 2 weeks, they advertised to professional photographers, which was not really our target audience. But that's why I'm saying it's very important that there's no miscommunication when you pay for advertisement, and making sure that they understand exactly who we're going after.
Yep. But kudos for you for at least getting a cohort test done so you can figure out if you can profitably acquire customers that way.
That's right.
Okay, very good. That makes a lot of sense. Talk to me about team today. How many people?
So we have a total of 12 people. Out of those, 3 of them are full-time. The other one are contract. And so we have our product design team that includes all of the UX, the UI, all of the testing. We have our marketing, and then we have our engineering and our backend team.
Okay, so 3 folks full-time. It sounds like 9 contractors. Have you bootstrapped the company or raised?
Everything was bootstrapped.
Okay, so still today, no money in the company?
No money in the company.
So you have 3 people and 9 contractors. You're paying them somehow. Are you basically pouring your own money from the agency into the software company?
That's right.
How much have you put in to date? More or less than $100,000?
Up to today, we have a little over $500,000 invested in this.
Does that make you kind of shit yourself each morning?
There's a vision and everybody's very passionate about it. We believe there's going to be a huge demand for a product like this. We're more passionate than ever, but more than that, we're not hungry necessarily for money at this point. What we are hungry for is finding the right investor that has the right expertise to take our product from a product to a company. We don't know it all, but we know how to build good products. That's what we do here at Creative 27, and that's what we're trying to do with Vabotu as well. And
right now, so obviously you're subsidizing the company right now, the agency revenue. What are you burning? Only fixed cost? Are we talking $10,000 a month, $20,000 or more?
It's right, yeah, between 15 to 20 grand a month.
Okay, got it. So that's and do you feel like, how much runway do you feel like you can give yourself? Do you feel like you can do that for another 12 months with no new revenue and no new outside investment?
That's a good question. So on our product timeline, we're wrapping up a lot of the features that are in Vabotu right now. And we're going to move forward for the remainder of the year and just see what the customer acquisition looks like. But yeah, we're by the end of the year, it's when we're wrapping up everything, and then we're going to open it up to investors and move forward from there.
Yeah. I mean, my big thing when my team did research on this before the interview is like, you do so much. It becomes very tempting to just say, we do it all, you don't need anyone else. But the risk in doing that is then there's not a specific use case, a specific niche to like dominate, because you literally do it all. And even if the tech does actually do it all and has actually more features than Slack and Trello, it's like, what's the story you tell the market to get a niche addicted to you? And you totally hear, which is, I'm a creative guy. I run my own agency. I built this for myself. This is a better Slack and Trello for design agencies, but that's not what your messaging on the website says.
Right. So the messaging on the website, it's hard to explain this product because it's got so much to offer.
I agree. I think it's a massive liability.
It is. So the best way to put it, it's more than Slack, more than Trello, because people are familiar with Slack, they're familiar with Trello. So when they hear those two names, they get a slight picture of what.
But they won't. The problem is they won't believe you. They'll go, these are billion-dollar companies. This little brand in LA is saying they're bigger. Like, this is bullshit. I don't even trust. They just lost on my trust. There's no way they're more than Slack and like they won't. Even if you are, they won't believe you.
I hear what you're saying, but I will say this: for somebody that's been in the design and development industry for the past 15 years, designers and creative professionals, they are hungry for new products. They're always willing to try new things. They're looking for the next best thing. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's going to be a huge opportunity for this type of software for the next couple of years. And articles all around the web say the same things, that the growth market, we're looking at 70% increase in terms of project management tools, et cetera, for the next couple of years. So we definitely think that this is a great opportune time for something like this.
Well, again, but why don't you double down on that? So it's going to get more competitive. So the ones who are win are going to be the ones that go deepest on one specific use case. But again, I don't see any verbiage on the site that says like, you don't even use your own. I mean, and by the way, I think it's a great asset. You built this for yourself. There's nothing that I see on here that's like, hey, designers, agencies, I'm you. I built this for me. You should use this tool if you're an agency or designer, like, and you're currently using Slack. We are a better Slack for design teams. Why don't you double in on that verbiage?
So we do. If you go to our website, we have the use cases, and the use cases talk about the different scenarios, right? Like product management, we have.
Yeah, but Vasile, you have everything listed here. You have product management, team management, agile development, client management. You list everything here.
Right. So let's look at Slack. If you look at Slack, you wouldn't say that Slack is only for a certain type of company. It could be used for a wide range of companies. But at the end of the day,
but Vasile, did you ever look at their verbiage of when they launched?
I don't remember what the verbiage is when they launched.
It was a very, very specific use case. And only after they dominated that, basically it was a tool inside of another company used in a very specific team in that company that they spun out. And then other teams like that team that built it for themselves in that company started using it. And then a snowball happened. And now they're very wide. Like, this is a mistake I think a lot of entrepreneurs make is exactly that. They look at it where the company is now and not the story.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you that whenever you are in a narrower niche, you'll be able to hit that target.
Yeah.
But here's what I think. I think with a product like Vabotu, it's got a lot of use cases, but you have to teach your audience how to use the product, because at the end of the day, it's a tool. And so all of these different categories that I'm listing on use cases, those are all teams at the end of the day that can leverage the different features that we have for their benefit, whether it's a creative agency, whether it's a marketing, whether it's product development, etc. At Creative 27, we're not just a design agency. We do all the spectrum from defining the product to developing it, to designing it, to the marketing of the product. And each of those departments use Vabotu for its full potential. And so I totally hear what you're saying, but I think at the end of the day, it's important for whoever comes on our website that it is our target audience to see, oh, this is how I can use this product and this is how it can benefit me.
Yeah, I don't want to beat this in the ground, so we'll end with this. I just think you can't do all these things at once. Even if the tool is used across your entire organization, you can't own all of these keywords. You can't go to all of these conferences. You can't go and do webinars on all these different topics and use cases. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying, right? So We'll see what you do, what you execute. Let's jump into some other economics real quick. It's probably too early for churn, right? Do you have any sense of what your churn is?
Not yet.
Yeah. And then we talked about CAC already. It sounds like you shut it off and then retargeted it. So if someone's going to come on and pay you $10 a month, I mean, on your test, what was it costing you to get that user?
Right now, roughly about $6 to $8 per user. But again, as this is just for the first 100 paid companies, as soon as we reach that, the pricing will increase. So we're trying to make it desirable and easy to get for any company.
Sorry, Vasile, something doesn't make sense. If you're able to pay $8 to get a new $10 a month customer, you'd put $1 billion in that channel as fast as you possibly could.
I'm not following. I'm sorry.
If you can spend $8, Google ads, Facebook ads, wherever you want to spend it, to get a new $10 a month customer, they're profitable on day one, you would plow as much money as you possibly could into that channel because it's profitable and the payback is instant.
Right.
Were we on a different pages? When I asked you what your CAC is, you said $8, your cost to acquire a customer.
I'm sorry. Yeah, So I'm not sure what the cost is for that. We ran a couple of campaigns, but we don't have all of the analytics in terms of that.
The campaign you ran, though, you said you knew that it wasn't working for freelance photographers, so you pivoted. So you must have looked at numbers that showed you, oh, this isn't working. Like, was it costing you $600 to get a new $10 a month freelance photographer using you?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I don't have that analytic, but what we did, the marketing campaign cost $3,500.
Okay.
And so the first 2 weeks, we look at the analytics. A lot of the traffic was coming from websites where the ad was running that was specifically for professional photographers. And we saw that even though they clicked on our site, they didn't really create accounts because it's not really for professional photographers. But as soon as we changed that and we targeted creative agencies and creative professionals, established freelancers, that had changed completely. We started getting a lot of signups and that worked out pretty well.
Okay, but do you have any, when you say worked out well, it's very hard for my audience to learn from that because we don't know what that means, right? So when you say worked out well, you're saying you started seeing new customers signing up? If so, how many?
Yes. Yeah, I don't have those analytics in front of me.
Okay, I mean, is it a channel you feel like you could put $50,000 in and it will still hold, the economics will still hold?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so why aren't you doing that then? Why aren't you putting $50,000 in tomorrow?
At this point, we got a lot of good feedback from the customers that have signed up. And what we're doing is we also wanted to wait for the iOS and Android apps to be out in the market because as we introduce it, that's very important for agencies. And as soon as we're wrapping up some of the feedback that we received and we have those products in the market, then we're going to dive in back into the marketing.
Very good. All right, let's wrap up with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
The famous business book.
Just one that you read.
0 to 1.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I would say Dave Ramsey.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building your company besides your own?
Besides my own, I really like Product Hunt. I look at Product Hunt a lot, so I would say that's probably it.
How many hours of sleep do you get every night?
On an average, 4 to 6.
Okay, and what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Single.
Okay, not married, no kids?
No, not married, no kids.
And how old are you?
I am 35 years old.
35. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I would say how to be more patient and how to take more time in doing things.
Guys, there you have it. Vabotu, again, a better Slack and Trello. He built it for himself. He's a design agency, a creative. He built this thing for his internal teams to use. They've just launched. They've got about 112 customers paying $9 a month, so over $1,000 a month in revenue at this point. They are bootstrapped, but he's put in $500,000 of his own money into the company between 2016 and today to get it to where it's at. Team of 3, and in addition to 9 contractors working on the product. We'll see if they can scale again, helping teams work together. Vasile, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.